Good morning, leaders. How are you? So, today I thought it would be good to talk a little bit more about some elements that are important in a coaching practice and in your own practice as a leader, your own skill set, your own traits, and that is values. What are exactly our values? Well, we all have values that we follow and believe in, things like honesty, hardworking, being organized, being compassionate, being kind, being loyal. All of these things are values. Even things like family is important. So, what I want to mention today that's really critical to look at is understanding your own values as a leader and knowing where your team's at with their values. And this is important because your goal is not to change other people's values necessarily, but to understand where they're coming from, to see where it's aligning with you and where it's not aligning with you or with your team as a leader. And this is really important. So what I tend to do with leaders is we do some deep dive work looking at values. And this also weaves into your personal leadership vision statement, which is another thing I work with leaders around. If you don't have one of those, it's very important to understand who you are as a leader and how you lead and why you're leading and what you like to lead around. And so values is always something that we touch base on, knowing what's really valuable to you. And that can also uncover some understanding around where the values are misaligning between you and maybe there's someone on your team that you don't seem to get along with, or there's a whole team in general that operates under certain values that are very different from yours. And again, we're not saying this is a right or wrong situation. It's an awareness and an understanding, and then learning how to work with people that have different values. So people, for example, if you're someone that is very hardworking and you believe, you put in a full day and that's what's important, that's your value and that's what you really believe in. But you have an employee, for example, that just says, I'm just going to do the bare minimum and then I'm going to get out of here. And I can certainly say the same thing around students. I teach college courses and I have students, I'm a big fan of don't procrastinate, don't turn in your paper 2 minutes before it's due, and work hard on this stuff. You're here for a reason. And I have students that literally will do the bare minimum just to pass. I get frustrated, but they don't value the hard work or their investment in their learning the same way that I would. So I can't fault them. I can say, gosh, I kind of always ask, why are you here? Why are you taking this course? Why are you in college? What do you hope to get out of it? To just kind of understand where they're coming from. And they just might be in a different place with their learning. It's the same thing in a work environment. You might just be in a different place with your employees. So to understand that can help you support them, bump them up a level in their performance, and even just help you with understanding your own frustrations and dealing with, again, kind of that messy stuff that you have in regards to maybe certain people on your team. And we always use that phrase, there's always one, right? There's always one person that's gonna, throw things off. But that one person could impact everybody and could impact you and make your job more difficult. So understanding where you're coming from and why somebody else might be coming from a place of a different value system is really important. So I want you today in your journal to jot down all the values you find helpful. And there's all sorts of lists you can find online, core values. Here's a list of 10, here's a list of 25. Go through that because that's going to just kind of, jumpstart your mind in what you want to write down. So just do a brain dump. What are all the things I really value and that are important to me? And then think about your teams and even specific people and try to picture what their values might be. The real pedal to the metal is doing this with your teams. And again, you can even do this. This could be a Zoom exercise you're doing right now while everybody's all scattered. This is a great training exercise to do some values clarification, identification, and again, then have some conversations around, I understand this is, family's a huge value for you, so I could understand why you don't want to work weekends because that's your family time, for example. Again, just really understanding that can make things flow smoother. So, with that in mind, I want you to work on your values today. Send me your comments, send me an email, and I will see you tomorrow.